intellectual and developmental disabilities.
And then lastly, just say the name. Tom? There you go. Enjoy. My favorite part of working at Jerry's Cafe is definitely interacting with friends I've met throughout the years and the espresso machine.
My co-founder Amy Philpott and I opened Jerry's Cafe for job opportunities. And a staggering statistic tells us that 80% of adults with disabilities are unemployed. I believe differently, and this is the place where our employees can work and feel proud and contribute and can see that they have value and purpose, and they are given the responsibility that anyone would be given in a job, and we expect nothing less than them to perform at their highest level. So we see great success in every single employee and their independence and their offerings and activities here at Jerry's Cafe.
The large, hot, white chocolate pumpkin pie with whipped cream, it is to die for. It is delicious. It's amazing. Well, the favorite part of working here is that I get to serve customers. I am a cashier. They understand to include people with us with exceptionalities.
I wanted to tell you, I've been watching you today. You're really good at your job. You're doing great.
I always like to serve customers. Customers go first.
We are super proud of our partnership with District 214. District 214 has been a supporter from the very beginning of our foundation, and several of the schools have done fundraising and helped us get our doors open to Jerry's Cafe. Proudly, we have 12 or 13 graduates from the District 214 schools who will work at Jerry's Cafe as our active employees.
This is where we do our salad prep. This is where we make all the salads. And then over here is the sandwich line. This is where we make all of our sandwiches. I have worked here since day one. I love it here. I love my supportive team members, and I like serving customers. Here is one chicken Mediterranean trip salad.
We know that our community members have lots of choices, but we're hoping that you will come and choose Jerry's Cafe.
Thank you.
When you come inside and engage with our employees, you feel a sense of joy, and you will start your day feeling the best way that you can, with a joyful heart and knowing that Jerry's Cafe has provided you with delicious coffee, breakfast, or lunch.
All right, welcome to our 55th year of putting together an incredible community service project through our SOS class here at John Hersey High School. As you can see around me, it is organized chaos, but it is an incredible day for our students to serve our community by packaging and collecting food that's going to be going to local food pantries in our area to support those in need.
We're really happy to be able to do the food drive here at Hersey because it really just brings the whole school together, and we are able to help our community and bring the energy with everyone here.
Take it out.
For the past, I would say about 2 months, we've been kind of working together with SOS, Junior Leaders, Baseball, and we've all gathered together. We've done bag and tag with 12 different communities, and we've all come together, and it's really amazing to see the turnout. And then later on, we're going to be visiting 8 local food pantries, and it's really exciting. We're just thankful for everyone who's helped each other along the way. It's been really fun.
It's a team effort, but it's been so fun.
Prospect Marching Knights are heading to D.C.
We're in Washington, D.C.
Prospect Marching Knights were invited to travel to Washington, D.C. this year for Veterans Day. So we're taking the band out to our nation's capital. We're going to do some great tours of some of the monuments and the museums and a lot of the sites of D.C., but it all culminates with performances on Veterans Day. So we've been working really hard to prepare, and we're so excited for our students to have this opportunity. Throughout the trip, we had a few opportunities where veterans would actually see our group of students out and about and spoke to our students. So in addition to touring these places, our students were able to actually interact with a number of veterans over the course of the trip, which kind of made everything a little more real and genuine and authentic. So our first day in DC was really impactful and gave our students sort of a big picture overview of the city and some of the history, and really set the stage for our Performance Day coming up. So on Veterans Day, our morning started off with a performance at the Lincoln Memorial. There we were, right on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, facing the Washington Monument. Just a really special opportunity for our students to have a really great place to perform.
It was an honor to perform on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial with the PMK, where so much of America's history has taken place.
The experience was very impactful for me. It was a unique opportunity that I have never had before, and it was something that I will cherish for the rest of my life.
One of our students, Emily Pollock, was also asked to deliver a speech at the Lincoln Memorial.
I've always wanted to help people, so I'm going to serve my country. More specifically, I want to become an officer in the military.
Her speech was really wonderful and got a really great reception at the event. In fact, after the event was over, I had a number of veterans come track me down to tell me how great her speech was, and actually they wanted to meet her and take pictures with her because they were so moved by what she had to say.
My father served in the Navy, and so he instilled in me the value of serving and caring for our veterans and those who serve us. And so being able to thank them today and place medals around their shoulders and welcome them home was really impactful for me as well.
United States Air Force.
It was an honor to play at the World War II Memorial today. It was such an honor because music is a way to share emotions without using words.
Our performances in DC got a lot of really good responses. One of them, a story was told to me by one of our chaperones, that there was literally a Marine veteran who was at a performance at the Iwo Jima Memorial who was literally in tears watching the performance, and just expressed to our chaperone how much it meant to him that this group of teenagers from the Chicago area had come out there and was performing, and he was just really moved by it, and I thought that was just a really neat story to hear coming out of the performance. So any trip like this takes a lot of time and energy to put together. I feel really fortunate that our school was very supportive of this endeavor. We had a bunch of parents who traveled with us and did anything they could to make this a great experience for our students. I'm so glad we were able to bring our students to DC. Veterans Day seemed like a perfect time to bring them, and it really, just in the end, I think the whole trip turned out really, really great, and I'm so happy we were able to make it happen.
We're super excited to have the 9/11 Never Forget mobile exhibit here at Hersey High School. As the truck arrived, we had Hersey parents out front with some patriotic balloons. We had Hersey students lining the sidewalks. We had some, mini American flags like they would show on the honor flights. The spirit was high.
Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the Stephen Siller Tunnel of Towers mobile exhibit. We have a 50-foot trailer, approximately 1,100 square feet exhibit. We travel our nation to commemorate the brave sacrifice of the firefighters, police officers that gave their life that day in the greatest rescue and recovery effort in our nation's history.
The reason we're here is at Hershey High School to come educate our youth on the happenings of that day, but also the happenings of the days after, and to let them know that it was a huge tragedy. It was the single largest loss of life day we've ever had. It was also the largest rescue we've ever had as well, but just all the good that has come from that tragic day. And they're going to learn things that they can't read about. They're going to hear stories that some have never been told, some have been told many times.
Stephen Siller was one of the 343 firefighters that died that morning. He was getting off duty that morning. He was going to play golf with his older brothers, heard the plane strike, heard on the news that the plane struck the building, turned around, drove back to his firehouse, Squad 1, located in downtown Brooklyn. They had already been dispatched to the disaster. He got his gear, drove his own truck to the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, where he donned 60 pounds of gear, ran 2.5 miles through the tunnel, mustered up with the rest of the firefighters, and gave his life that day, honoring his oath that he took to protect life and property.
So this is about remembering. So we want people to remember, obviously, for adults to remember for the kids to learn. So we don't want this forgotten. It's not taught in most schools in America. And they have the privilege of talking to people who are there. You know, we can't talk to people who were in the Civil War or these other moments in American history, but they can. And I think that's pretty special. Thanks for having us, and this means more to us than you. This means a lot to these kids. And these kids would be great. They're very respectful, they listen. It's nice to see.
A special thanks, especially to the FDNY crew, to the Silver Foundation, to Soldiers Journey Home, to District 214, to all of Hershey. I'm grateful for everybody. A special shout out to Bill Dustin for the Magic Spirit. Special shout out to Chief Harris, Arlington Heights Police. The coolest part about this project was there's like a whole bunch of people that were on it and did it. It wouldn't have happened without a whole bunch of people. The list is just too long, and to me, that's actually a good thing to celebrate.
This is the Rolling Meadows Band alumni event, so we decided to get the band back together. This year being the 40th anniversary of the Jazz and Meadows Festival, so it was kind of an opportunity to, hey, can we bring people back at homecoming? I had talked to some of the previous band directors, so that's Len King in the 70s, 80s, early 90s. We have Bill Jastrow and David Boggs from the 90s. And then, of course, Chris Booty, who retired several years ago. Those people set the foundation for everything that we have here.
I'm giving you a hug if that's okay. Oh my God, look at you. I'd have paid money to be here tonight. I really would have. It's one of those things that I'd pay money to be here. This is the band reunion where your closest friends were really at in high school. And so you're with your closest friends and regrouping after 40-something years and going, holy cow.
Yeah. Mr. King is the reason why I'm here today, not just at the school, but what I do in life. I owe everything to Mr. King. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have gone to college. And if I hadn't gone to college, who knows what I would be doing.
You know, some of the stuff that we're doing right now is like we never stop doing it, you know, just to be around these guys again and just hanging out. 40 years seems like a long time, but it seems like it's kind of a short time too, you know.
This is fantastic. I mean, I knew it was going to be good, but not this good. 52 of my actual students are in this group. I get a lot of feedback from them telling me how much they enjoyed the music program with me and how they appreciate music for their life. That's really special because to know that they are still thinking about me and what we did here, it's just very satisfying.
Well, I flew back and I'm glad I did, you know, especially to see Mr. King. He meant a lot to us. He just brought in the jazz, and I mean, we had world-class, you know, experience that most kids never would have had. You know, a real depth of exposure to great music because of Mr. King. So I'm glad I got to see him.
It's so fun to be back, though. I love it. My family's here. They're so excited.
So is my family.
Yeah.
My son's here. My husband's here. So
Yeah.
it's really great.
If you are on the fence of coming, whether it's debating about whether to come or not, you should definitely come next time. It feels like a long time ago, but in some ways, like you never left. Like I'm like, okay, we're gonna go march over to the stadium and we're gonna play for the football team. So yeah, okay.
Thank you to all the alumni who are coming here today. I mean, some people are traveling across the country. I know one of the directors came from Arizona. That's a testament to really what this event is about, and it's bringing people together through our shared love of music and how music has changed our lives and shaped who we are as humans.
Alumni, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
say the name. Tom? Here you go. Enjoy. My favorite part of working at Jerry's Cafe is definitely interacting with friends I've met throughout the years and the espresso machine.
My co-founder, Amy Cook.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order the business meeting for Township High School District 214 Board of Education for Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. Ms. Keys, could you please call the roll?
Dessling.
Here.
Fiorito.
Here.
Heineman.
Present.
Palmer. Present. Welk.
Here.
Walker.
Here.
Kreutzer.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. And tonight we have a special Pledge of Allegiance for Prospect High School. Dr. Rowe.
All right, I'll hand it over to Mr. Mentor to introduce students from Prospect.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Greg Minter. I'm the proud principal of Prospect High School, and I'm here tonight with our Operation Snowball group. And you heard a little bit about Operation Snowball a couple of months ago from the Wheeling High School, but I thought it was really appropriate to bring this group here because it's really been such a positive group that's restarted at Prospect. I believe when I came to Prospect over 20 years ago, Operation Snowball might have had its last year because there was a school psychologist by the name of Tom Snobble, I believe, who was running it at that time. But with his retirement, no one picked it up until Tim Franklin, one of our counselors, did last year. And I'm going to let Tim talk a little bit about the group, but I just wanted to share a little bit about Tim. Tim spent countless weekends, nights, and visiting other schools, watching Operation Snowballs being run so that when it was our opportunity to do it last year, that it didn't miss a beat. It was an excellent, excellent experience for all of our students. I know that they're going to talk about it, but Tim put a lot of time into the preparation for it to ensure that it was going to be something excellent. And I should also say about Tim, he was doing that while he's pursuing his doctorate degree. He's involved in just about every other thing at Prospect High School that has to do with supporting kids and making sure that kids have opportunities both in and outside of school. So with that, I'm going to introduce Tim Franklin to share a little bit more about Operation Snowball and also have a few of our students speak to their experience about it as well. Tim?
Thanks, Greg, for those kind words. I appreciate it. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tim Franklin, and so when I first started at Prospect High School, you know, part of the reason why you go into education is because you want to work with students, school-age children. You should want to, at least. And so in my experience, I've always, you know, tried to figure out what it is that I can do to help students to make a difference in their educational journey. Because obviously getting good grades, going to school is one thing, but what else is there to have a memorable, everlasting impact on their educational journey? And so for me, I wanted to ensure that I could bring something to the school that wasn't particularly there yet, but something that all students could, you know, be impacted by. And so when I interned in 211, back in 2019, they had Operation Snowball there, and it was a very impactful program that all of their schools interacted with. And so when I got to Prospect and I saw that it wasn't at our school at the moment, I made it my passion project because I knew that our students would have an amazing opportunity to invest in themselves with this particular program. And so through Operation Snowball and other co-workers and staff members, Karen Konupke and Colleen Carroll, who played a pivotal role in helping me to get this off the ground, I knew that Operation Snowball would be really, really, really special for students. And so through our implementation of the program, we did spend a lot of time kind of figuring out what that was going to look like. And I was a bit nervous as to what that would bring to our student body. But after going through it, I was just in tears the entire time that happened, because it was just so amazing just to see so many different types of students participate in our Operation Snowball. It's a 15-hour event. That's a very long time, extremely long time, and it's not quite as a turn on for students, telling them that 15 hours at the school. And, a lot of them took a healthy risk, and I'm looking at some of them now because they were not particularly sold on coming to Snowball when we first talked about it. But after going through with it, they realized how life-changing it is. And so to have different types of students from all walks of life, part of different programs in our building, to be able to come together and spend time with one another, share vulnerable information about themselves to, not necessarily strangers, because they're all in class and walk in the same hallways, but they don't have the opportunity to truly get to know one another on a deep personal, interpersonal relationship type of situation. And so Snowball provided that for them, and just seeing that makes me happy. I love being a school counselor, don't get me wrong, but I have to say, spending my Monday mornings with these young adults truly brings me a lot of joy, and it just reminds me of my why and my purpose as to what I do and why I do what I do, and why it's just difficult for me to leave, the direct field of working with students. And so I'm going to hand it over. We talked about being extemporaneous, right, Max? So if anyone wants to come up and share their experience with Snowball, you are more than welcome to do that now.
Hi everyone, my name is Yanni. I was part of the inaugural leadership program for the student leaders last year for Snowball. And the reason why I joined was not necessarily because I knew what it was, because it was a very abstract idea for me. This was kind of like the first kind of retreat that I was able to be a participant in, and actually, in this time, would be more in a leadership role, to actually be able to do a retreat that would be more of trying to talk about certain things that you wouldn't be able to necessarily talk about maybe at home or with your peers. Like, it's one thing to talk about, like, in-depth topics in class, but like how deep they actually get will always be on a surface level. And that's one of those biggest reasons that I really wanted to join. And it was also because I wanted to really help, like, bring people together within our school. A lot of times people have friends at school that are just friends because they're in classes. But then to be able to do that kind of retreat really allowed me to connect with my peers, as well as peers with other peers that normally they wouldn't be able to talk to. So that was my biggest kind of thing that I wanted to join. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Brock Reedy, and other people talking had the ability to have more of a leadership role, and I took the role of more of a participant. It was like I was a sophomore, couldn't be a leader yet, so I got to be participating. Mr. Franklin convinced me, and Operation Snowball was a very good experience for me. It's interesting because like I've been saying, you kind of go through prospecting, you experience things like sorry, one second. You might like, okay, fine.
You're good.
At Prospect, you tend to find the same things to do. Like for me, I do sports, and I hang out with people in sports, and that's kind of the group that I found. But Operation Snowball is a new thing that I can kind of participate in, and allows you to find new friends and new people to bond with. And like for me, I got to have the experience where they have, at Operation Snowball, they have speakers come up and they like choose people to come on stage and do things for you. And when you get chosen, you don't know what you're gonna do on stage. And I raised my hand I was kind of brave and got chosen to go on stage. And then when you get up there, they gave me like a streamer and then told me to interpretive dance to a Taylor Swift song. So I got like 2 minutes to myself in front of like 70 people and got to interpretive dance, and it's an experience that you don't really get anywhere else, and I feel like I learned a lot about myself and just kind of that environment, because you just don't get that anywhere else, and it was just a good experience and I learned a lot.
Hi everyone, my name is Ria. I'm a senior at Prospect, and last year I was a snowball leader for our first snowball in a really long time. When I joined snowball, I had no idea what it was. Miss Carol and I are really close, and she told me that it was something I'd enjoy doing, so I submitted an application not thinking that I would actually be chosen. For the first few weeks that we met for snowball, I have to tell you, we were all clueless. We were all just meeting in the morning, and Franklin would talk to us about leadership and connection, and we were like, okay, like this is fun, but I don't really know what the goal is here. And that's when we went to the OSB conference. It was a conference held by OSB where all the other Operation Snowballs from different schools got together, and there were like workshops where you learned about things you can have at your snowball. And it was just the most eye-opening experience we've had. And as a group, I think we all really understood the real meaning of snowball and why we chose to do it. And we all took a risk last year joining this group, this team that we knew nothing about. And I would like to say that it was one of the best risks I took as a junior last year. And as a senior, being a leader again, I really hope that our group that comes to Snowball this year gets to see just the amount of connections and change it's brought to our life, and hopefully they will be motivated to be leaders next year. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kelsey Bennett, and I'm a senior who was a leader for Operation Snowball last year. And there is no doubt that this program has made a huge impact on our school, but also on OSB as a whole, because we did receive an award of the best first snowball after our first snowball, which is really cool. But I saw so many amazing people come out of their shells and interact with people they would have never interacted with. Lots of freshmen who opened up about not having their people yet, not having a group to belong to, and not having clubs. And it was so amazing to be able to be a part of this experience where students felt like they could just be themselves. We didn't have our phones, we had no technology, we were all wearing matching shirts and dressed in these wacky outfits. So everyone was put on the same level, which is something that you never get anywhere else. So I'm very happy to be a part of this program.
Hi, my name is Brody Cushing, and I'm a junior at Prospect. I was just a member of OSB last year, but joining OSB is one of the most life-changing things I think I've ever done. When I joined last year, I arrived at Prospect ready for 15 hours, where all I was given was a color. I was light green, and I was like, what does this mean? But I just told myself, this is something that was described to be amazing and life-changing, and it truly was. Through 15 hours, it really didn't even feel like it was 15 hours. It went by so fast. But we were truly able to let our guards down, connect, share with people we never thought we would have met, and faces that you just saw in the hallway turn to people you never would have ever thought you'd be as close as you are today. And I know that I met people, and I will forever have bonds that will never be broken because of Operation Snowball. It truly allowed me to meet new people, try new things, and I'm very grateful to be a part of this program.
Anyone else? Okay, who's going to lead us in the pledge? All the kids should come up. Go ahead.
All right, well, I'll do it. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America
So students, we're going to take a picture over there. If you give us a few minutes, audience, appreciate it. Thank you. Next on the agenda is approval of the agenda. We have a consent items as well as roll call items. Could tech roll the screen to the consent items? Is there any member of the board that wish to pull any consent item for a roll call? Hearing none, could I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
I hear a motion, and do I hear a second?
Yes.
There's been a motion and a second. Please call a roll.
Fiorito.
Yes.
Palmer.
Aye.
Dustling.
Yes.
Heineman.
Aye.
Rauch.
Aye.
Walker.
Yes.
And Kreutzer.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved. Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call a roll.
Walker.
Yes.
Heineman.
Aye.
Dustling.
Yes.
Fiorito.
Yes.
Palmer.
Abstain.
Rauch.
Aye.
And Kreutzer.
Aye. Thank you. Next, we have board recognition. Mr. Maggi, please.
Thank you. Dr. Rowe, President Kreutzer, and Board Member Fiorito, would you please join me for partner recognition? Tonight, we recognize Bright Light Medical Imaging for supporting students in our healthcare pathway. We welcome from Bright Light Medical Imaging, Callie Devers, who's the Elk Grove Village Site Manager, and Nancy Jamarusti, who's the Process Director. If you please join us. Bright Light Medical Imaging has provided invaluable opportunities for students in the healthcare pathway. It offers interns the chance to learn about cutting-edge medical technologies, including radiology, ultrasound, MRIs, and CT scans. Our students have expressed tremendous gratitude for the mentoring provided by the Bright Light Medical Imaging staff and report that their internships have inspired them to pursue pre-med majors in college. We would like to extend our sincere thanks to Bright Light Medical Imaging for enthusiastically supporting our work-based learning experience programs and for generously providing this professional education to our district students. Thank you so much for all that you do.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. We enjoy having the students. I myself am a District 214 parent, so it's even better for me. And we like to give back to the community, so it's a great pleasure.
Thank you.
What do we have here? Next on the agenda is public comments, and I have the sheet, and no one has signed up. So we'll move on to the superintendent's report. Dr. Rowe, please.
All right, thank you. I only have a couple of updates this evening. Just one is a strategic planning update. On Friday of last week, we held our workshop following kind of the transition point from working on the vision as well as the goals and the portrait of a graduate. And in this room, we had 50 staff members and administrators broken down into goal teams and then the subcategories of those teams. And the work was really tailored around taking the overarching goal and determining what the metrics are. How will we measure our progress toward achieving this goal? And then after the metrics were discussed, the time was spent in what strategies do we want to employ to put into practice and be public-facing to show you of what action is going to be taken toward achieving that goal. It was a really great day. We had a phenomenal day. Pat and I had a meeting with our partners this morning, and they continued to just rave about the progress that we made on that day because the work needs to continue. These teams will be meeting on their own for the next few weeks to kind of fine-tune their work before it all comes back to the District Executive Council for a final review before coming to you. So work is going. We're moving and shaking, and things are going really well. It was a great group of people and a tremendous day. I guess the final thing, the final plan will be in front of you on April 10th, where this board will be able to approve, hopefully approve the strategic plan and as your final act before we seat a new board. And then next topic, I had the opportunity this morning to attend the reception for Dr. Judith Campbell, the new superintendent in District 211. As you all know, we have a great partnership with our neighboring high school district and spent a lot of time collaborating with them beyond things centered on the Bears as well as a lot of other things. Is usually one of my first phone calls. So it was great to meet Dr. Campbell. She seems like a wonderful leader, and I welcomed her to the area. And as Lisa Small was a great mentor to me transitioning in as a new person, obviously I offered that to her. So I wish her well and look forward to collaborating with her. And then finally, I wanted to share another highlight video. In the CLS program, there's a lot of aspects of our students' daily lives, and some of the things that we take for granted, those of us that don't have a disability, is the ability to communicate clearly and communicate quickly. So I wanted to share this video, and one of our favorites, Mr. Mix, who is up for Arlington Heights Heart of Gold Award later this winter, is a tremendous teacher at Hersey High School, but check out what our students are doing in terms of their communications and take in the message of patience when it comes time to communicate with our students.
My name is Carla Waskow. This is Touch Chat. It is the communication device that a lot of students in the CLS program use.
My name is Ronaldo. What is your favorite dinosaur?
Good one, dude.
This is how they ask questions. This is how they communicate and be social, answer questions in the classroom. And because all the students use this, I want everyone in the school to understand how it takes time for the students to learn this and to be patient with them when they communicate.
My name is Dan Serrano. What is your favorite vehicle?
Got it. I'm Mr. Mix. We're going to roll with that, right? I'm going to answer your question. I had my first experience working to communicate with the touchpad. You know, I needed some assistance. I definitely needed some help with the touchpad, but teachers were there to help a little bit, and so were the kids. And I learned. You know, after I learned, I realized the communication was enhanced. The technology was fantastic. It was great to get the confidence that we were communicating. To be able to build the bridge there to the emotional aspects and all that stuff, get to know the kids better was awesome.
Dessert.
You like dessert too, though? Yeah.
The reason why I have the staff come in is because when our students are in the hallways and they say hi to them, that they have to be patient because just saying hi, it's not just so quick in using our voice. They have to navigate here to be able to go to social and say hello. So it takes time, and it takes a while to learn the system and to be patient with them. The students love interacting with the different teachers, and we've had such a very positive feedback that I actually have a waiting list of people that want to come in, and the teachers that have come into the room share with their colleagues how awesome an experience it is, and I've gotten emails asking to come in. So we're going to continue at second semester, just so we have that exposure for our communication devices and for the students just to communicate.
I like jeans.
Very nice. Jeans.
I would absolutely sign up again. I think everybody should do it. I think every teacher in the village should do it. I think wonderful experience, new perceptions on connecting with, our COS students, and also, what it really means to be, which we have here, outstanding COS teachers. We like to see that.
I think I do.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
And I just want to echo, as I conclude, the point that Mr. Mix made at the end. Our CLS program is something obviously we're very proud of, but the teachers and the passion that they show day in, day out with our students is admirable, and really grateful for all of them and all of their work and attention to some of our neediest students. So thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Rowe. Next on the agenda is board updates. Mr. Dusling?
Yes, every year I attend the annual invite cheerleading competition up at Buffalo Grove. It's on a Sunday, and it goes from, starts at 8 in the morning and goes till about 7:30 or 8 at night. This year there were probably over 150 teams. It runs like clockwork. Every staff member is involved with it. It's really amazing. Buses from all over the place, downstate, just all over. It's an amazing opportunity to see students, families that pack the gym all day long, and it's really rare. So if you get a chance, attend it next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fiorito, please.
Okay, I have two updates. First, the NSSEO Finance Committee met this afternoon. I know Tim was on as well, and so was Megan from Special Ed. Just a couple things to mention. They talked about the first day of construction, which is impacting their end of school year, so it'll be June 23rd. It was clear through most of the conversation today that they are doing a lot to look at what they can do to minimize the cost of their member districts. And some of the areas that they were looking at was possibly getting rid of the unemployment reserves, putting that into a line item and not charging members for it. They were also talking about some changes with their health insurance as well as the retirement reserve. So areas where they feel that they can reduce the cost for the member districts. And also they kind of talked about possibly increasing the cost for the non-member districts. Right now it's $2,000 per student from member districts, and they want to raise it to $4,000 so they can bring in more money, because they do have a lot of capital projects just like we do, including the Kirk project. So that was pretty much what they talked about, as well as the enrollment projections, which right now are pretty stagnant, and part of it is because they are having a tough time, specifically at the Kirk School, with staffing. They're still short on staffing, and that has pretty much held them back from taking on any additional students. Right now, they have a waiting list of 15 to 20 students at both Kirk and Minor. So that was the NSSEO. And then the other one was yesterday we had our quarterly foundation meeting. And a couple points that I wanted to make. First, they introduced Laz as the new executive director in waiting, July 1st. I know that was very well received. They set the bar pretty high, right, Laz? They did. Another thing that they did was Brooke, Jess, and Joanne presented their jobs. It was a real eye-opener, I think, for many of us to see the amount of work that they do. So a big plus to them. I have to do a plug. They have a giving event on February 14th. That's Valentine's Day for all the guys. It's called #LoveDD214, and it really goes to the 214 Cares program, because as we know, both in our area as well as most of the world, there are many families that are in need, and the D214 Cares program helps out many families in our district. So everybody should look at that. The scholarship program is exploding. They had 250 senior students have started the process of trying to earn or win a scholarship from the foundation, and they have another 56 that have already completed the process, so that was great too. And then the last thing that I want to bring up was they had a presentation on what one of our vendors, Train, did, where they adopted a family from our district. And basically, they They not only adopted this family from Wheeling High School, but they were recipient of so many generous gifts that they said that the Wildcat support staff was physically in tears upon seeing what they did for this family. So it just shows what, what our district has. Whether it's the vendors or it's anybody else in our community, people are always looking out for each other, and that's what makes D214 such a great place. So those are my two reports on both NSSEO and the foundation, and last but not least for Alva, a late holiday present, but I have 3 copies of the financial statement that if anybody wants to look at it, I'd be glad to distribute them, and you guys can do with them what you want. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Walker?
A couple upcoming events. On January 28th, we'll have Arts Unlimited Guitar Day at Wheeling High School from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. That program is really growing and growing every year, so if you're in the area and have a few minutes to stop in, I would encourage that. And then, of course, BG is hosting a Lunar New Year event from 6 to 8 on January 31st. The last thing I have is just a shout out to Kate and her team for all the personal transactions that we do. I was lucky to be part of some of the interviews and just the discipline that went into it and all the background and really vetting the candidates before they got to the final approval. Kudos to you and your team for how much hard work went into it.
Thank you. Anyone else? No? We good? Go ahead, Ms. Rauch.
I'd just like to make a few comments. First of all, there was the MSL cheerleading sectionals yesterday, so congratulations to those schools that participated and placed. Also, I just want to really compliment the Prospect students today. I also had an opportunity to be at BG for a staff recognition where students got up and openly spoke about how our staff has impacted them. So thank you to the staff, first of all, for being impactful to our students, but second of all, for encouraging them to communicate their thoughts and their experiences here. And so, again, it's as it was stated from Prospect, it's not just about the grades, but the community and the socialization. And so I would also echo Mr. Fiorito that, 214 does an outstanding job in all aspects. So, thank you.
Thank you. Been to a few co-curricular events. I was at the tri-meet for the girls' gymnastics at Prospect, went to a boys' swim meet at Wheeling, and the girls' bowling, Wheeling up at Arlington Lanes, and last night I was at the Mid-Suburban League co-ed cheer, and what a great opportunity to see all 6 high schools perform. I just love that, and I think we had a winner, and I think taken the top prize. And that's it for my report. Move on to consent. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items, please?
So moved.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Dessling?
Yes.
Welk? Aye. Fiorito?
Yes.
Heineman?
Aye.
Palmer? Aye. Walker?
Yes.
Kreutzer?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
So now we're at action items at 10-1. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved. Second.
It's been a motion and a second. Discussion? Please call the roll.
Dessling?
Yes.
Fiorito?
Yes.
Heineman?
Aye.
Palmer? Aye. Welk? Aye. Walker?
Yes.
And Kreutzer?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Can I have a motion and a second for 10-2, please?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Dessling?
Yes.
Palmer? Aye. Fiorito?
Yes.
Heineman?
Aye.
Welk? Aye. Walker?
Yes.
And Kreutzer?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Next item is 10-3. A motion and a second, please.
So moved. Second.
It's been a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Welk? Aye. Palmer? Aye. Dessling?
Yes.
Fiorito?
Yes.
Heineman?
Aye.
Walker? And Kreutzer?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Next, 10-4. Motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any update, Mr. Keeley, that you'd like to, with the tentative budget?
No, this is essentially a perfunctory action that the board must take to authorize the administration to proceed. With the resolution approved this evening, we will then start working in the Business Services Office to put our assumptions together and bring that back at the next two board meetings.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Good use of the word perfunctory.
Call the roll.
Walker.
Yes.
Dustling.
Yes.
Fiorito.
Yes.
Heineman.
Aye.
Palmer.
Aye.
Welk.
Aye.
And Kreutzer.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Next is 10-5. Motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call a roll.
Dustling.
Yes.
Fiorito.
Yes.
Heineman.
Aye.
Palmer.
Aye.
Welk.
Aye.
Walker.
Yes.
And Kreutzer.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. 10-6, please. Motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
It's been a motion and a second. Is it you, Dr. O, or is it Mr. Moggy,
We
please?
may tag team this, but I'll start us out. What you have before you this evening is a memorandum of understanding with our Education Foundation, and it's less this memorandum of understanding outlines the relationship and how our relationship functions with one another. We're here. This is a renewal. This is something that was already in place. There are minimal adjustments that took place, but given the fact that it was set to expire this fall, and it was our first opportunity to really break it down and work through things, we took the opportunity to really ensure that it was updated and in line with current practice of how the district and the Ed Foundation are supporting one another. Some of the key components in here really are aligning the support the Education Foundation does with our strategic plan and the direction that's going, and that the foundation will be able to offer some support and develop programming and through in line with our strategic plan. Laser focus on support of students and support of innovative practices happening in the classroom. We had wonderful discussions. We really went through line by line with a fine-tooth comb and had some good conversation about where our relationship is and how we want it to evolve. And I just want to thank Tom Munns, the president of the Ed Foundation Board, who's here tonight for the collaboration and conversation and good work that took place. And then Joanne and Jessica are here from the foundation as well in support of the great things that they're doing. And the future's bright. Mr. Maggio, if you have anything to add, please do.
Okay, Tom, I'll give you the floor for about 30 seconds. I'm going to time you, 30 seconds.
You know, it is an honor and privilege to serve on the board, and I've been privileged to be the chair for a number of years. The chance to reach out, get back involved in the district, and try to make an impact for kids. And the board works on that. We're excited for Laz to be joining as executive director, to be joining our other staff on this, that we have high hopes over the next couple years to even make bigger impact with it. Many of you know I had a chance to serve 16 years on a school board, and it is so nice to chair a foundation board. People are always happy giving out money instead of raising taxes. So if you get a chance to join our board in the future, I really encourage you to do it. But it was great to work with Pat, Frank, and Scott in getting this accomplished to bring it to you tonight. So thank you very much, and we look forward to the next years going forward.
Tom, thank you for your service.
Thanks, Tom. And I should note that the foundation board approved the MOU earlier today.
There's been a motion and a second. Please call a roll.
Palmer.
Aye.
Fiorito.
Yes.
Dustling.
Yes.
Heineman.
Aye.
Welk.
Aye.
Walker.
Yes.
And Kreutzer.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
So we're moving one item up from after closed session up to approve right now. So we're going to approve 12-1. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved. Second.
Go ahead, Lynn.
I move that we approve 12.1, approval of personal transaction reports.
Did I hear a second, Frank?
Yes.
Thank you. call the roll. I wanted to know
Walker?
if you wanted to say anything.
Fiorito?
Yes.
Dustling?
Yes.
Heineman?
Aye.
Palmer?
Aye.
Welk?
Aye.
And Kreutzer.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Dr.
All right, if I could, there's something that's pretty special on the personnel transaction report this evening. The principalship doesn't come open all that often in District 214 for good reason. It is a coveted job, but it's also probably the hardest or one of the most difficult jobs in public education, yet it's also exceptionally rewarding. And so I'm really proud to present to you Wheeling's next high school principal, which is Angela Hawkins. And she's been formally approved and is now, will be principal at Wheeling High School on July 1, 2025. Here with her family and a number of Wheeling staff members who have come to support her. I think I felt the rumble of the building all the way over here when the news hit their inboxes. Tremendous support for Angela. She's been an excellent educator in District 214 for a very long time, starting as an Italian teacher to a division head of world languages and social studies to API, and she's done an exceptional job. We have high hopes for where she's going to continue to carry Wheeling as Dr. Hubbard hands over the reins to her at the end of this school year. And congratulate with the deepest congratulations. I think you're going to do a wonderful job, Angela. I'm super proud of you. I'd love for you to come share a couple of words with the board, but congratulations.
We also want to know your family that's here. Oh, so when you're done, yeah. Well, they can come up, yeah, but we'd like for you to introduce them.
Of course, yes. I'm truly honored and extremely grateful for this opportunity. I've been in the district. I started as a student teacher, and I'm here 20 years later, and so awesome to be the next principal of Wheeling High School, of the school that is so close to my heart, and I love every staff member in that school and every student in that school, and I just cannot wait to start this new chapter. I want to thank the Board of Education, District 214 Board of Education for this opportunity, Dr. Rowe and the superintendency. I really appreciate it, and I'm super excited to start this new chapter of Wheeling High School, so thank you. Here tonight with me, I also want to thank my family. My family's here supporting. We're missing two because they were homesick, so Grandma had to stay home watching the kids, but I do have my husband, Tim, my son, Mark, my daughter, Isabella, my son, Paul, and my sister, Daniela. So thank you.
Okay, congratulations. The next item, we're going to go into closed session. So I need a motion and a second to go into closed session for the purpose of discussing the appointment, employment compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in an educational setting, or legal counsel for a public body. Motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Palmer? Aye. Fiorito?
Yes.
Dustling?
Yes.
Heineman?
Aye.
Welk?
Aye.
Walker?
Yes.
And Kreutzer.
Aye. We will have action after closed session. Dr. Rowe, what do you think, a half hour, 45 minutes? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. We are back from closed session, and we have two items that we need to approve. And can I have a motion and a second for 12-2?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve the job descriptions for Associate Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, Associate Superintendent for Student Services, Associate Superintendent for the Business Services / CSBO, Associate Superintendent for Operations, Director of Community Engagement and Outreach, Assistant Director of Security, Network Security Supervisor, and Enterprise Network Engineer.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second discussion. Call the roll, please.
Fiorito,
Yes.
Dustling.
Yes.
Heineman,
Aye.
Palmer. Aye. Rauch. Aye. Walker.
Yes.
And Kreutzer.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Motion and a second for 12-3, please.
I move to approve the notice to remedy.
It's been a motion and a second discussion. Please call the roll.
Heineman,
Aye.
Rauch. Aye. Dustling.
Yes.
Fiorito,
Yes.
Palmer. Aye. Walker.
Yes.
And Kreutzer.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Dustling.
Yes.
Rauch. Aye. Fiorito.
Yes.
Heineman.
Aye.
Palmer. Aye. Walker.
Yes.
And Kreutzer.
Aye. We are adjourned.